Seeing a lot of Yon bans every game as well, and is he really that much of a problem in comp?
You know, it's really strange. Haven't seen too much of him lately. Just a lot of bans toward him. But he's always a champion that, you know, mid laners can play. And in comp, he's always relatively strong, despite what solo queue may tell you.
I like laning against Yon because I sit there, I say, oh, the cooldowns are long, the trade pattern is predictable. Like, I think it's just kind of a fun individual lane. It's all similar to Vel'Koz. Like, you just have just enough, like, the right amount of things to pay attention to have an enjoyable 1v1 experience. And then I'm like, he doesn't really do anything, it's fine. And then you just play against that one Yon, you're like, oh, he has 4 dashes, his CC is tied to his dash, which interrupts my thing, but he gets to auto me during it, and his E makes him CC immune and snaps him back and gets him out of it. And it's like, what are we doing? The thing is, why does his Q dash not get interrupted if he gets CC'd in the middle? Why does it, you know, break my CC, but he gets to keep his, but then I get knocked up and I take damage and he autos me again? It's a horror. Keep him out. Ban it. Don't want to see him. But I do like laning against him for the first, like, 10 minutes or so. After that,
you're not going to see him. Now, what you are going to see is you're going to see a treat. Sasi Rumble. This guy in Split 3, 4-0 on Rumble. Hasn't dropped a single game on it. Against EDG, you say, you know what? I'm bringing out my best. We are winning game 1. We're going to look to win the series. Now, the problem is, if Xiaohao locks this in, this guy's also undefeated on Xin Zhao. He is a perfect 5-0.
It does sound, from what I'm hearing about this guy, seems like a pretty good pick. If you're the stable rock of your team, if you're that leader, you want something with a little bit of engage, a little bit of 1v1 power, you know. There is the spectrum of sort of this, like, fighter, dive, teamfight, engage jungler, and it's the just completely all in on one guy with, like, Vi on one end. You've got the basically straight for the team fight with Jarvan on the other end, and then it's like, well, Lee Sin's here, he has a bit less engaged and stuff, and Xin Zhao is very comfortably in the middle. You can dive on one guy and ruin their day, but you can also win your 1v1s in jungle, you can invade, you can have a good 2v2, you can have a strong team fight. Nice and all-round, exactly what you need for that sort of position that Xiaohao plays in the team.
Waiting to see what LGD is going to lock in here. I think a Sivir would make a lot of sense because LGD's comp is, hey, we're going to run at you. EDG with a little bit of a pick comp going on. So, Docda, what do you think? What are you seeing out here for the rest of EDG? Because you do have this pick potential with the Talia. You do have the Weaver's Wall as well to be able to cut some interesting angles. Chains of Corruption as well. Feels like we just need a little bit more damage and a little bit more bulk.
So we haven't mentioned Varus B1 made it through the bans, was banned both games in the series. As is customary, Varus will come through on his various tears at many points in the year, and part of that is because he has so many different builds that there's always some way to make him work depending on the meta. That's going to be pretty nice. You know, we've been talking about teams not quite having enough engage. When you get to put the engage on your hyper carry, that's just an added bonus. You know, if Varus doesn't need a damage ult. You know, Varus has it. He has it already. He doesn't need the Yunara ult or the Zeri ult. That's fine. Let him just rip a couple of chains and see who he can find. And if we compare that, yeah, we add that up with the Talia, and it's like, okay, we've got good zone control. We've got good poke. We've got strong front to back with the Xin Zhao. I'm liking it a lot. I think that we just, it's like Karma Ornn. Maybe I'm the problem because, you know, I was complaining about team comps not changing for the last 10 years, and I've drafted one. But we just take a nice, you know, bit of poke or, you know, a controlling kind of support that can enable him, and then you just get a big wall with some proper hard engage. But it doesn't even need to be that, like, proper. You could have Scion or something and not worry about ulting in. You've got even I'm gonna throw up, but like even Renekton in this situation wouldn't be too bad, or like
your favorite.
You'll get it done. Like, I hate him, but it's gonna get not the pipe. No, go back to Karma. Get the Karma. Yeah.
Okay. There are a couple of different options here. I like what LGD did. I actually thought that Nico would probably have been pretty okay for EDG, not only for the poke lane, but also for the Pop Blossom. All right. We saw the Karma hovers. You said Karma Ornn. We got the Ornn. We just need a support. The game hasn't
changed in 10 years. It's fine.
We got a support that goes well with Varus. I don't know, man. It seems like Karma could definitely be on the table. This would be different for Parukia. I like the bans that LGD sent at him. These two engaged champions that he's been so good on. You know, keep him off balance. Make him play something else. Ah, come on. Come on. Boo. Boo this man. I mean, I think it's pretty good.
It's fine.
It serves
It's
your
pretty
purpose.
good.
It disrupts them.
It's
But I
fine.
wanted you to be right.
I'm always right.
Hang on a minute. That ain't karma.
No, you don't get it. It's like the law. It's like, who do you think's wearing the suit, bro? It's a whole thing. That's what they don't want you to know. That you had to play Legends of Runeterra to know that one. Unfortunately, only 4 of us did, and so nobody else gets to know that one. But the whole point of the Karma Varus lane is that you get the big poke and you can harass people out. What do you know? Varus does everything, and so pairing a Varus with a Nautilus hits the hook, Varus throws an E, bit of a Hail of Blades action comes on out. It's basically the same thing. You've chunked them out. I would have liked to have the Karma, especially versus Sivir, just to be able to match her level of wave control, and it's also, we've now gone ahead and locked in that it's Nico support, and that's going to be even harder to deal with the wave, so we'll have to be a bit careful down here, see what Parukia can pull off with this Nautilus, because you are going to be getting pushed in pretty consistently by the Nico and by the Sivir.
LGD's last
we
pick
also have,
was
AP
the
Varus.
Silas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, this is true. This is true. LGD's last pick
Varus,
was
that's
that
pretty big.
Silas. So, can have a lot of ultimates to steal, a lot of quality ones.
all
Call
good.
the Forge God, Weavers, well, pretty much everybody. Maybe I'm not stealing Crescent Guard all the time, but hey,
It's
even
not
Crescent Guard is good in some scenarios, especially with a Silas.
Like, are you taking Weaver's Wall? Probably not. You have to plan pretty
Sometimes.
far ahead for that. It's nice to have the option, so maybe you do. The thing is, you're now getting an AP Nautilus ult and an AP Varus ult. That's pretty nice. You're not building too much AP. Late game, that's going to go crazy. Obviously, with Silas early on, it's more about CDR, health, survivability, and you get the death cap like 4/4/5. But we'll keep it in mind. It's always funny to see that one come out. I was hoping we would get a Silas jungle today, just so I could see that one a bit more in action after the buffs. But it will be going on over to their mid lane today. But I'm liking what I'm seeing from both of these teams. The only sort of major note here is looking over at LGD. Their comp, it's front to back without a real tank, and that's fine. You have the Nico, the move speed from the Sivir, the Equalizer, and Wukong, especially with Clone. These can all be a theoretical frontline. It's just not an actual guy. And if you understand how to play it, it's the same. There's no difference between a Scion creating a wall that people can't move past and, a Nico well-placed E or, a Wukong clone ulting an Equalizer being a wall. It's basically all the same. It's just a bit harder to execute on when it's you have the limited resources to work with and cooldowns. The Scion doesn't have a cooldown, he's just there. So we'll keep an eye on it, because if LGD can make it work, it's gonna be real nice. But EDG, it's kind of a bit point and click. That's pretty good, especially when you are already the favored team in the matchup.
Got a couple of interesting notes about On. He's the poke Varus. Hook gonna go down. Just very early, getting some good damage in, but Savior wants to trade back. They're going to use that heal on both sides in the bottom lane to try and keep those health bars up. He's got teleport, does On. Keep that in mind.
So I'm out of touch. I'm out of time. Rest of song. Which Varus are we seeing often these days? I was expecting
honestly,
like hyper carry was the main flavor with.
It's definitely game dependent.
Okay, that's
good.
I think that the poke, the lethality, is much better of a choice here because for all the reasons I've just said, LGD don't have a real tank. It's very vibes dependent, their team fight capabilities, and if a Scion tanks a fully charged Varus Cube, it's fine, it's whatever. If a Silas tanks it, then suddenly, sure, Silas can be your bruiser because he has health and he can heal his W with enough CDR, but now he's dying to the next Q, and maybe he doesn't get the W off in time. If any of you are working with a pseudo frontline, poke can be real nice. As we see another classic support TP back to lane at 3 minutes in.
Nope.
And I don't.
Nope.
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 Oh,
that's
golly.
an Ornn, baby. Now we're getting the Varus TP up top.
Oh, no.
And we're seeing Parukia.
I was confused. I was like, well, why are we TPing back to lane when Arn's resetting? Surely just walk back with him, but it's...
Can they stop Salsa? Does he know? Does he know? He's a knower. He stopped Salsa's back. Okay, this is big from Parukia.
I'm not sure on the point of this, but... Like, what's the plan? Are we really going for the
Set behind
here?
Rumble.
Oh, it's just because the wave is goated.
Yep.
And yeah, setting behind the Rumble is pretty good. That's a lovely thread from Xiaohao. Parukia may have given the game, like you say, why is he sweeping that bush? You know, if they saw him in there. Don't really know why Xiaohao backed off. Oh no, it's such a bait. They see the hook come out from Nautilus. And
they still have no idea.
It's such a great bait. It's generational.
Great bait, Irate, 8 out of 8. Now, can they actually get the kill? And they will. First blood going over to On. We talked about Xiaohao and Parukia linking up for big plays.
Oh, I think Xiaohao wasn't quite ready for that hook to be perfectly timed on the spell shield ending, so that Xavier actually gets pulled in, as opposed to Parukia just going halfway there. It did cost a lot, you know, Flash was burnt by everyone in that exchange, but the first blood goes on over to Varus. But as you said, you don't get bonus gold for it, and ooh, he's picked up, actually he had the tier already, so he has picked up 2 longswords, but, you know, bonus gold going over to a tier user isn't really the end of the game 4 minutes in. And he did have to use his flash, did have to use his, his teleport as well. There is opportunity to punish that, but it is a nice play, and it's just a nice mind game when a Xin Zhao appears out of nowhere in the middle bush, because now, next time Nautilus does a really random engage on you when his ADC's farming the wave miles back, and, you know, he's just sort of going to get chunked out by Vanico, you'll be thinking, oh, what if Xin's here again? And that's always scary.
You'd think the team with the Nico on it would have the trickery advantage, but now the seed has been planted in the back of the head of LGD. We do see them grouping up as a nice little conglomerate here, as XQW means he is going to be kind of homeless. He's going to take the long walk up to the top side. Climber has started up this dragon. Given the fact that you've got 2 in the mid lane and a Rumble pushing into an Ornn, this one should be pretty free.
But it is going to be a very slow one. That's the Mountain Drake, the tankiest of all. And, you know, Wukong not known for his damage on the Drake. And it's a Sheen, you know, maybe with a longsword, the attack speed steroid will get it done. There's not a lot of damage there. This is taking a really long time for him. And that is time that Xiaohao is farming camps, getting XP, getting closer to 6. Not as major of a power spike for him, but it's also time that the bot lane are pushing in that top wave. And Xiaohao can make his way up there. I think if Xiaohao's close to 6, he might be able to pick it up off this crab, and then we could turn that into a 5. XQW has to be
Chains
careful.
of corruption too. Oh yeah, they just stole everything and jacked the life of On, and now Parukia has nowhere to run. Gonna give that one. No. Oh, okay. We backed off because we did see that Xiaohao and Angel were nearby. I'm not gonna lie. I think they should have committed, but I respect it.
Good face check. Is the phone going to get there? It does get into the bush in time. No flash out.
Wait, hold on.
6, but...
Wait, now you're just dead. Wait, what? No, sir, surely you're not just dead here. Okay. Parukia, wait.
Oh my god.
What? Welcome to Nirvana. Welcome to Nirvana, Docda. Welcome. Enjoy your stay. Ooh, that is the most Nirvana play I've seen in my life.
Oh, I didn't like that one. Oh, no. What happened? Xiaohao a little keen on that one. Doesn't quite have the huge CC duration that he would like. No Halo Blaze means he doesn't get the knock up onto XQW. And Parukia, you're level 3 on 100 health. You're a bit far up. I always would prefer a team to make such a play than to not. So, you know, can't fault him too much. And, you know, the wave state's good. Arn is denying some creeps here, so that's always nice. Other than that, there's maybe some notes, maybe some things we can work on, but, you know, let's not get too into the weeds of this one.
Yeah, you know what, you're right. Honestly, it's for the best. That play left me a little speechless. The good news is it'll be quickly wiped from our memories, because in 10 seconds, the grubs are up. But right now, On is getting targeted out. You mentioned that AP depth charge just destroying the health bar of the EDG AD carry as XQW continues to make plays.
And, you know, it was a good attempt to get out by Arn, but he doesn't have the flash. His own chains did a good job, but they blocked XQW behind minions, so he couldn't E on forward, but it didn't matter. Climber's there with the ult as well. You've now been hit by 2 Silas ults, and Parukia is just level 4. We're going to try and contest this here. Just picking up 1 grub is nice. I think that's enough to deny the... whatchamacallit? But no, it's not. No, okay, if you get 2 of them, you'll get the... if you get 2 of the 3, you will still get the feat. So that's picked on up there for LGD. But at least 1 grub secured for EDG. Are they going to be able to get much more here? We're not really going to look for that plate. Because at this point, XQW, I think, has access to... Oh, not quite. You can see it just for a second there in the bottom left. But he's close to having access to the Chains of Corruption again. Can't say the same for Arn or Parukia, still level 4.
One thing to note is that we still haven't seen anything out of Angel right now. And Angel has been really, really good. He's been a little boring, but he's been very consistent. He's been very good at linking up with Xiaohao throughout the season. You know, going up against one of the new young mid laners in the league. But you know, it's just a surprise to see that Angel hasn't really done anything yet this game. I mean, he's got this Weaver's Wall, and it just appears that because of where they sent the Silas, all the action's happening around the Silas. And it means that if Angel's not matching him, he's not around this action. So yeah, he's built a CS lead, but yeah. I mean, the gold's still the XQW.
I mean... It's weird here because XQW should have an XP deficit, but you know, he's had people around him when he's in those lanes, but it just sort of isn't really that behind. As you see, Angel, despite being up 23 creeps, is still at the same level XP, and XP is very important for. Actually, wait, no, I can't read. Angel's 9, but XP is important for your Silas because it gets you levels, which gets you cooldown on your W. Very, very valuable. It is also worth noting that I think Arn is... Again, this is the problem. Parukia has lost a lot of XP, but it hasn't really been... It hasn't gone anywhere into EDG, which... If you're doing your roaming right, if you're playing the map right, the amount of XP and gold in a game is a zero-sum game. Like, if you're losing XP, your teammate should be getting it. If you're missing creeps, preferably someone is picking them up. And that hasn't really seemed to be the case for Parukia here, because if you had a big XP lead, if you had Arn just catching waves solo, which he has done a fair bit, that's pretty nice. Varus is one of the few ADCs that actually scales with level relatively well, because of his Q being the, you know, you get, what do you call it, like bonus AD scaling. When you level, the scaling increases, which is always nice, but unfortunately for him, you see he's even down a level on Savior. So he hasn't quite been able to speedrun, you know, a level 9 Varus whilst, you know, Saviour's still like level 7.
Second dragon coming up, and LGD already in position to try to take this one. EDG going to start things off, but no, it's the Pop Blossom with the turnaround. They get on top of Xiaohao. He moves over to YCX to try to stay alive. He's burning, though, as Sasa will chase him down and take him out. Climber on the backside going to die as EDZ had joined the fray. And here comes this call of the Forge God. Who's he going to hit? It's just a Nico clone. He's going to be real sad about that in a moment. So XQW once back in, got micro stunned, shoved over the wall, but now Angel's on the wrong side of the map. He's got to deal with multiple LGD members. Big knockup coming through from ZDZ. Do they have the damage? The Nico clone is blocking the rocks. XQW is just going crazy in this fight. Parukia is going to get run down by Savior, but the Q could not take him out. But LGD convincingly winning this fight.
Oh, it's similar. It's just a bit too keen, you know? It's pretty clear that Angel's looking to flash out there. ZDC doesn't have to go in, but he just wants to. He just gets a bit involved. See it again back from the starters. Weird. I thought that was the clone for a second, but no, that's the real Nico. It's a nice little engage. You can see that I thought XQW pulling the Xin ult was going to be bad. You know, Arn's right there. Maybe we can turn it around, but the damage just isn't quite enough. The fight is split, and it's a poke Varus getting engaged on. You know, if that's attack speed Varus who's sitting there in that 2v1, that 3v1, XQW is going down quickly, but he can't really do a lot in a quick fight here, which means that even with the numbers disadvantage, LDG on that half of the fight can do fine, whilst the advantage side wins over in mid lane, and then it all goes downhill from there, as that clone does a huge job of saving XQW.
What a really well-played fight by LGD. They have been doing so well so early. Xiaohao looking to try to keep the pressure up, but it has been rebuffed so far. And I mean, XQW has really come to play in this game. And with this early lead, it's kind of surprising. We really haven't often seen EDG thrown this far off early.
Okay, like I said, I've been gone a while. Why have we rushed Collector on Sivir? Am I out of touch and out of time once again?
Ooh.
Is this the
Whoa.
Is this the hotness?
Bro, I don't even know. And I play Sivir. I have not. I guess it is. Maybe I'm incorrect. Listen, I am just a play-by-play, bro. Sometimes I don't even know how to itemize properly when I'm playing games, and I have a guide right next to me. You know, maybe this is one of the new things that they're teaching on ProDiff. You know, there's always a chance. Somebody out there is probably coaching that. And if you want to play like the pros in your own solo queue games, like Savior, who has been doing such a good job over the last couple of games, you can take the opportunity to learn directly from the pros themselves. Doesn't matter your rank. The best way to start climbing now is to schedule a coaching session at prodiff.gg. You'll work one-on-one with an active or recent player in the NACL, the ERLs, or the LTA who will teach you to play like a pro. Get personalized coaching from the pros today at prodiff.gg. Using code LPL10 at the checkout, you'll get 10% off and you'll help support the lovely LPL English broadcast.
Chat, I'm busy right now. Someone sign up, get some coaching, and ask about Collector Sivir. It's new to me. I'm looking up the stats. It's not looking great.
Does this mean Lethality Sivir is back? Because let me tell you, dude, I love playing Lethality Sivir. It was broken. It was mean to play.
Was it?
But man, when you played it, it was a blast.
I never heard that one in my life, and I've been around a while.
Well, what I have heard is that Rift Herald is an objective that gets done by teams that are in the lead most of the time. Not all the time, but LGD are going to be the ones to start this one up. EDG just looking for a way in. The problem is, LGD's comp, they're so good at fighting early. Parukia going to land a hook down onto Savior, who's going to flash away. Equalizer going to split the fight up. YCX over on the backside, trying to get things done. Knockups there. Climber is now spinning and trying to win. Triple knockup coming through. XQW gets stuffed, but it doesn't matter. LGD just runs over EDG.
Just walking their way on through as the comp is built to do. You get a couple of spins in there. I was saying you get some severe damage. I don't know if you do on this build, but it's enough. It gets them through, and they'll make their way on over to that there Rift Herald. I would say it would get them points for the feats, but they picked those ones up ages ago. So they got that going on too, and they've got themselves a Herald to try and knock down a cheeky breaky turret. And again, EDG, they have the idea here, but nice little snipe on the shield, but it's too deep, and it's so far. You know, Parukia's so far up, no one can really follow. And again, you have the poke Varus, you kind of want to hit a few arrows first. I see the vision on the engage on the Sivir, but again, it's when Parukia's going in really deep, which means that no one's left to appeal for Arn. Maybe Angel could do it, but Arn cannot really defend himself in any way because he's poke Varus. He pokes, and if someone's on top of him, it's a bit over.
Yeah, Climber easily going to be able to get on top of that guy. Little to no resistance. And right now, it's not a huge gold lead, but it is 2,000. Just coming around to the 17-minute mark. 45 seconds until this next dragon is up. LGD can put themselves far and away ahead in this game. You manage to secure that, the pressure will be on EDG all game long, and you can already see they're headed to the area.
So I'm thinking maybe the Collector was to try and just match Varus poke in lane. You know, in the same way when you play a controlled deck in a card game, maybe you put a bit of aggro in there just to beat the other aggro.
I like this.
But that's never played it in my life. But yeah, sometimes the blue deck will have some red cards, am I right? But that just isn't really how the lane went. So I don't know. Because I get that sometimes, you know, you're playing the hyper carry, like, well, I'll get the aggressive thing to stop myself getting aggressed on instead of getting, like, you know, Yuntao. But we've been chilling. There's been lane swaps. We could have got the Yuntao. It's really not important. I'm just kind of curious. I hate being that guy who's like, oh, let's talk about the builds. It's really, most of the time, it's irrelevant. I'm just a curious customer. As
curious
this Drake
lad.
is picked
It's all
up
good.
with no contest.
Yeah, now, what are EDG going to do with this? Because they burned both teleports. Like, ZDZ and Angel teleported here. And we have gotten... I don't even see any vision on the minimap down in the jungle. I mean, they picked up the red buff, sure. But if Climber can... No, Climber's not going to be able to swipe that. Okay, so you invested 2 teleports for a red buff. Now maybe you'll get a kill on the Wukong. Knockup coming through. Dueling Call of the Forge Gods. Oh my goodness. It's the 3v2 and now YCX is here. Parukia is going to fall. And look who's burning alive on the other side. Now it's the AD carries going band for band, but On's got to flash away. LGD are just putting exclamation points on this game.
And if you can get the fight in the little choke there, I don't even know if the equalizer even came on out, but you just don't need it when you've got SQW and you've got Climber coming on through there. You hate to say it, I don't know if Arn had to flash out, the savior damage wasn't all that. But Arn did get a little bit of damage out himself. He is starting to get there. He has nearly finished that Mana Moon as well, but yeah, you can't be fighting the choke. Let's just see it one more time for the fans. It's such a massive collapse onto the Wukong, but he's so far away already. And then when the Ornhorn comes on through, I don't know if they forgot that XQW had it, or I think he must have pulled it quite a while ago. It's suddenly, you're getting 3 people hit by a Cyclone and an Ornn ult. It's a bit of a horror. Finally, manages to get a kill. He has time to hit the Rumble. He's hitting him on his own. He's getting he's getting all the Blight stacks popped and Power W, Max Rank Q. It's all that. It's getting there, but again, it's just not really enough to actually 1v1 Savior. But Savior also didn't have damage, so people were turning up. So Arn just plays the safe, flashes on out.
So he's gone Collector into Flicker Blade.
So is this just Q spam Sivir?
Yeah, why not? You've got all the CDR in the world. I mean, the Q still does good damage. I mean, they did nerf it when Lethality Sivir was really, really strong. But I mean, it's still good.
So what I'm thinking is, because this could be niche. Talking about too much maybe. But cheeky freaky knockout. Oh.
All right, well, the good news is they've broken this up, so maybe we won't. Call the Forge God coming through.
Ooh,
a little delayed. It is going to hit Savior, but we're not actually going to be able to get anything off of it.
So there's a world where I'm like, this is just to match Varus in teamfight, but I'm like, they have frontline and you have fake frontline, so you can free hit as the Sivir. Yes, but like, with this option, you hit someone and then you get another Q back up and throw the Q again. And hit someone, you throw another Q.
YCX gonna get knocked up, gonna get hooked, gonna get blown up. He's just dead. Now this means that Anacon have to back up to LGD. The throw magnet of the LPL may have just claimed another victim.
Oh god.
EDG are not super far ahead, nor do they really have full control here. LGD really want to weigh in. Big hook. They're going to be able to blow up Sasa as well. And now it's time for EDG to find their way back in. Climber still hanging around, but now he'll finally go in full retreat. Weaver's Wall coming through. It's going to cut off Savior. They will just take the Otacon and walk out. So EDG finally playing a bit like the team we know them to be.
Okay, good job controlling the area there. That's what your team's looking to do when you've got yourself the Taliyah, Ornn, and Varus. But they get it done. They play it slow. We don't overcommit. Just a little bit of push, a little bit of poke. Keep everyone off that objective. Don't die. And you may be able to pick yourselves up that there Atacon. And again, look, you've got a guy who is struggling to deal with tanks right now in that there Varus. And similarly, it's poke from Taliyah. If you collapse on one guy, you get that one kill, you get the explosion, that's % max health damage going across, and the slow, which means you're then going to land more Qs from Varus, more Qs from Taliyah. So it's all coming together from those two over there. And again, the LGD, because there's no real front line, but there's like the fake front line, having a big AoE slow it's a lot harder for them to execute what their pseudo tanks are doing. And just having a big AoE slow is suddenly like, oh, Silas can't reach the guy he wanted to W, and has, instead of living for 25 seconds, he's lived for 3. Things like that can make a very big difference in these fights, as EDG are walking up blind into this Drake, but they don't have a lot of ways to get over that wall, and I don't think LGD want to pick a fight. So LGD might be able to go ahead and grab themselves this one. EDG walking around the side. XQW, you are 5 miles away from where you need to be. I don't know who you think you're flanking right now, but he might be about to hit something devious in that tri-bush if he wasn't spotted by the pink ward.
Well, let's see.
What are we doing up there? What are we doing over
All
there?
right, we have YCX all the way over on the side. I really love this flank. EDG are going all the way in. Call the Forge out. Going to be stolen by XQW. And now YCX is going to move on the way in. He has been spotted.
Oh, Nico.
And there's the Pop Blossom on to 3 members. Xiaohao is going to try to do what he can to salvage the fight, but look at all the damage coming through. But On got engaged on by XQW. He's going to get a kill over the wall. Xiaohao trying to keep his AD carry alive. He'll fall. ZDZ still up, but he misses the knock-up. And LGD take the fight.
Oh, a generational flank. ZDZ should be going down here. No, XQW can't quite connect that E. Might be looking to try a dive here with the minions. Okay, Nigruken's got a nice shield. I don't think it's enough.
All right.
He collected.
ZDZ just gives his life for 0. That's going to be Soul, Infernal Soul, secured for LGD. The Baron is up in 50 seconds, and they are so damn strong.
And that's a perfect time to get your Baron as well, to get your fight. 50 seconds before Baron, you can all get your kills, get your money reset, and then make your way over onto that top side. And this is just a generational flank coming out from CYX. And he's spotted by the ward, but he started so far back, it's just too late. EDG are way overcommitted. Boom, nice big pop blossom, and we just throw everything on top. Arn actually puts a bit of work in here. Is doing reasonably well for himself. See that E, I think he had stacks already from the ult coming out, so he gets a fair bit of damage there. Unfortunately, stops to throw that auto right as XQW goes for the Q. I think he's still dead in either case, but the fight is so split up. Everyone's been already hit by the wombo combo that you're just being ran down by various LDG members. There's only so much execution can do as XQW picks himself up that top turret, which is going to enable the team to gain control of the western quadrant to set up the Baron.
More gold spilling into the pockets of the LGD mid laner. And in this showdown between the old guard and the new kid on the block, right now, XQW is the one who's tilted the game heavily for LGD. Fully stacked on that Darksteel. And that Darksteel does have the Zonius component.
It's a bit keen to go in.
All right, knock-ups there. XQW is a little far ahead. YCX gets knocked out. He's going to go back in.
Ooh.
You're going to at least trade junglers. No, Xiaohao is still alive. He'll finally fall. But guess what? Climber sliding away, low HP. XQW goes in and out, and Savior is going crazy. This Sivir build is just doing so much damage. He's got a triple die on the backside, but now it's all up to On. He won't be able to get anything further. It's a 4 for 2 in favor of LGD.
I can't believe XQW walked out of that alive. That was a little bit keen. Going in a bit far there, and I think, he takes the Xinjiao ult, but then like Zhonya's inside. I'm like, oh, this guy's done for. He's cooked. He's in the middle of 5 people. But we've got a couple of items in the Riftmaker over on that side. He can heal his way up, and he's just, again, he's being the fake tank. He's not a tank, but if he's popping his Ins out ult, and his Onya's, and is healing off his W in the middle of 5 people, he's done the same thing. He's bought time. That's time for Savior to be dishing out damage. It's time for Sasi. It's time for the squad. You see, because this looks like a bad engage, We're going in onto the Ornn. What's happening here? Generational dive comes out from Xiaohao. You love to see it. And he manages to pick up CYX, but he just takes so much damage from the Sivir that he goes from 100 to 10% health so quickly. And here you look at XQW. He was in the middle of 4 people. He's going to jump on back in and then just slide his way out because suddenly they go, oh, wait, where's Zinzao? Where's our team? Where's our guy? Where's Xiaohao? And no one's really focusing on him to the point where he can just do this re-engage, and crucially, his E does not kill. If his E kills there, he doesn't get the W, he doesn't get the heal. A lot of Xinjiaos you can also, I think, weave an auto in during that section. If he had, he doesn't get the W, he doesn't heal, he might go down, but he's got the control. And so he makes sure that he gets that Kingslayer, he gets himself a fair bit of extra health so he doesn't die to a random bit of poke. And that means that he can stay alive long enough for the boys to go ahead and secure themselves a dragon as well.
Unsung hero in that fight, Salsa, who had a really sick equalizer. I mean, yeah, it's close quarters. They're easy to hit in the jungle sometimes, but I mean, he landed on 4 members, and, that looked like a fight that EDG might have won had it not been there, but this means that LGD still in full control, utilizing their Baron down on this bottom side, taking that tier 2. Meanwhile, Angel will respond in kind up top. They'll send the Rumble up there, and I think if you're EDG, you're just waiting until this Elder's up in 2 minutes. Maybe you can snipe something away. Well, the Forge God going to come down. YCX is going to go golden here. Angel even teleported down, but they got him. No, they got him.
It's a bit keen to throw.
He's very dead.
Angel TP as well, but it's Talia. You have ult. It's fine. Okay, we got a kill. We take those. Oh wait, no, it's a generational bait. Hear me out. YCX. Okay. Never mind. I don't know if YCX had Baron before because they died in the initial play. But no, it looks like in the replay they had it. But that's gonna give away that one of the minions is fake. So YCX quote gets caught, so that actually I don't know if even does. They may have. I feel like they changed it at some point.
Nope.
Did they not fix it? It's still a giveaway. Genius.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Cinema. Kino. Watch YCX now sneak in as a minion and not give the game away as SQW bottles it and carries on. Nothing to see here, folks.
Yep, that didn't happen 1 minute before Elder. Bit of an early steal. So we'll he's not going to be able to take that one. We'll see what ultimate he's going to take. Right now he just might take the life of ZDZ because he is going in full pursuit after him. That equalizer went down, didn't do a whole lot of damage, and did not allow LGD to further pursue.
Goodness gracious, you should note that ZDZ is not actually that tanky, relatively speaking, right? Because he's playing Ornn, but his tankiness in a lot of these items is conditional, right? The Kainic Rooker is mostly on the shield. If you can break that, you've got less magic resist than other options. Now, the shield's pretty big, but still. And then it's the same with the Undying, Unending Despair. He has to be in combat to get the heal out of that. If he's just getting poked, it's not really doing a lot. And again, the Randuins, it's nice if you're getting, autoed, if you're getting crit by the Sivir, but you throw out a couple of Rumble pokes here, a couple of Sivir Qs, it's not really doing that much. So in a big team fight, Ornn is actually going crazy, but
hang on.
In these little
We've got a diabolical flank going on here.
Oh,
the question is, can they find XQW? Can he link up with anybody? They're going to go all in on him. Xiaohao takes a lot of damage, though. Hook now going to land on XQW. He's able to get away. The equalizer's there. Double knockups, but it don't matter. Parukia is going to fall. Look at the side. The Pop Blossom will only land on the one, but guess what? Savior flashing forward wants to end this game and will rip apart the rest of EDG. That is an ace. It looks like it's time for Elder Dragon.
T-feet on to go get the wave.
They're going to get the wave. It's over.
Don't know if it was a two-man job, but I like the attempt. I like the hustle, because that's a 5-man push going straight on in against an ace. We've got 20 seconds on the board for that. Xiaohao and Parukia. That's not really enough. That's not really enough to hold onto your base. 1 versus 5. Next, or the turret falls, the inhibitor turret falls. Surely the Nexus is next on the block. Angel's not going to be up quick enough to drop a Weaver's Wall. Xiaohao's not going to be up quick enough to get anything done. Parukia just trying to clear out the waves to keep the turret healthy, but it won't be enough.
Nope, LGD showing up big time. XQW and Climber have a game, guys. I mean, they played so well as a unit. I mean, really just LGD showing up big time in this game. Really surprised at the level of competency they showed in this game to be able to knock off EDG here in game 1.
You know what? You said earlier you don't want to see the Crescent Strike coming out from XQW, but 2 fights there, it put in a lot of work. At the end,
it did.
He's getting in, he's sneaking up, and he knows I'm 1v3, but the Varus isn't going to be able to touch me. I've got my no Varus button is more important than the massive AP nuke of the Depth Charge or of the Chains of Corruption. Press that one so he can't get poked on. Out, gets involved in the mix. If he's not getting chunked out by Varus, he's allowed to keep on healing with Kingslayer. And then once people start turning up, bada bing, bada boom, slam that Zhonya's, do it again by yourself, because you can, W Zhonya's and then W again. You've got your whole health bar back. Not really, but kind of.
Close.
And then you're good. And if anyone's going, oh, we really need to deal with this guy, which Arn kind of was, and he's sticking a little bit too far up. He's overstepping to try and get that Q, which everyone knows is coming, so the Zhonya's is going to happen. Once he oversteps to try and get that Q, boom, flash forward from the Sivir. Get a Q of your own, and it's basically the same, because it's a lethality Sivir, kind of, for some reason. You see how much damage that the Boomerang can do, and we've cleaned out the fight.
It looked really good. I like the damage that it put out coming to a solo Q game near you in North America. And if you subscribe to the life of EDG making it to Worlds, you can't drop games to LGD. LGD, like we said, a lot of good raw talent on this team. that are really, most of them in their first years. But I mean, EDG has shown that they are head and shoulders better than a team like this. And if you drop a game, I don't care that you're already locked for a top 2 spot. There should be no tomfoolery here. You should want to get that number 1 spot because, you know, Team WE up top in Ascend, while their record doesn't look that great, they've won a lot of games. And that is not a team that I would want to face if I'm in Group Nirvana. I want to lock that top spot. I want to go play against FPX, go take my easy dub and move on in the playoffs. And against Team WE, there's never any easy dubs.
Hey, from my perspective, FPX have turned it all around, given there was only one bad game and then one, like, okay game. So, you know. Is it, am I understanding right that it's not that the seed specific, it's not like, you know, the top of Ascend plays the bottom of Nirvana, but the top of Ascend gets to pick who they want, right?
So the way it works is that the bottom 4 of Ascend play against the top 4 of Nirvana.
When I say the top, I mean the top.
Okay, that's what you mean. Yes.
Yeah.
So 5th seed gets first pick. So, like, as an example, Weibo is currently 5th. They would get to choose who they want to play against. Probably going to be that 4th place team. Obviously, Weibo could still slip down, but, you know, let's be honest. None of these teams really want to play against an IP or EDG when they're playing so well. But if EDG fall off a little bit, you know, I'm sure Team WE would feel much better about a matchup with them. We've also seen that sometimes teams will not pick who we expect. I believe in Split 2 we saw a bit of a I can't remember. I think it was Weibo who openly picked WE and got ranched by them or something. At least.
Yeah.
No, I can't remember how that worked.
In a technical sense, like, your actual placement doesn't matter in Nirvana because unless we've truly not done our homework at all in Ascend, they are picking directly who they want to play. So it doesn't really matter if you're 1st, 2nd, 3rd, or 4th. Off of a numbers perspective, like, it matters how you play, right?
Yep, exactly. Top, you know,
so
that's how it goes.
Placement. You just want to look scary.
Yep,
and
exactly. You want to look very intimidating, and right now EDG did not look very intimidating in that game. They cannot lose any more games if they want to lock first. They cannot lose any more individual games. So from here on out, EDG, if they really want that top spot, you got to go. You got to 2-0 these last 2 games, then you got to 2-0 in your next series and call it a day at that point. But LGD, listen, they want to make sure they're locked in that 3rd spot. We talked about that earlier. And he hit both of them.
Yeah, I don't know. Did he hit both of them, or was I think that one? I didn't notice that there were 2, but I think it was just one was called by Ornn and one was sent by Silas. Can he hit both of them? Is that a thing?
That's what happened there. They both went in the same direction.
But, like, is that a coincidence? Were they both Silas's, or was it this? They had just so happened that Ornn summoned his at the same time that Silas summoned his.
They summoned theirs in the same direction, and when Silas hit it, he hit both of them.
Oh, I don't know. I was thinking. I know that Silas can take Syndra's orbs for ult. There's like a few weird ones. He can steal Ornn's ult.
Yeah. You know, honestly, I saw it and I honestly just assumed it was a graphical bug, or I would just am delusional at 7:45 Eastern in the morning after working all day yesterday. But no, it did happen. And honestly, if you ask me, because of that alone, he deserves an MVP. But I mean, you know, the rest of the gameplay really speaks for itself. I think XQW certainly earned an MVP with his performance in this game.
Not the chess speaks for itself on this one. My goodness, yeah, it was a pretty dominant showing from XQC. My goat.
Palkia's hook hitting the wall. Truly, tough there, by the way. Could have potentially made a difference, but I don't know. It was just so hard to kill that guy. Way too fed, and then Savior just chef's kiss, closing out the game. And LGD, again, their objectives pretty damn good, especially the Dragons. The Dragons were really, really good. Again, they swept the Dragons out. I mean, EDG didn't really have a shot to get any of them.
It's my question going on through. Yes, there's nothing. They truly could not breathe through any of those objectives. But my question now is that XQW was going crazy with it on the Silas. But Silas is very... and he was doing everything that he needed to do in those fights as the... There it is, MVP, let's go. Well, yeah. He was doing everything he needed to do as the Silas, as the, like, pseudo tank. He was filling his role perfectly. Because there are lots of different ways you can play a champion, different ways you can adapt to a game and to a game plan. He was doing the right one. That's always good. That's one of the hardest things to do in this game, is to play one champion multiple ways and adapt. But no one else really chefs it up like Silas in that regard in the mid lane. So I'm now wondering what the plan is going into game 2. You know, is it they want to go... because if they try to go for a similar comp, a similar style, your options are way limited in mid lane who can pull off something like that. You know, we're going to get Vlad in. He's going to heal. You know, what are we doing? But we could try something completely different because, again, Silas is very versatile. Maybe this is just how they chose to play at that time. I don't believe that that's like all XQW has, is being that like bruiser in mid, but it worked the first time, so are they going to try force it again?
Well, that depends on how many mid laners are left available when they determine it's time to pick a mid laner, because the pickings can get real slim real fast. We're going to go ahead and take another short break. When we return, it could be our last game of the evening or the day or the afternoon, wherever you are, as LGD are looking at 2-0.